well today. So I'm here to do part 2 of my coloring book collection for the beginning of 2022. I did part 1 last week, and in that video I talked about all of my color by number as well as my one color books. So I figured today I could talk about my non-color by number books, quote unquote regular books, whatever you want to call them. They're not very well organized, in full honesty. I just kind of have a basket for the color by number and a basket for the non-color by number. So I just dragged the basket over. But I figured we could start off with my Rita Bourbon collection. So I have 5 of her books. I love them. Honestly, anything by her is an auto buy for me. Even if I don't color in these books on a monthly basis or on a weekly basis, I honestly just love the artwork, and I really enjoy the diversity of images in her books. You know, some are more detailed, some are less detailed, so I think there's something for everybody in her books. But that being said, I have her 4 seasonal books, and we can start off with the summer one here. So it's just my summer vacation day. I don't know. I live in Germany, so I should know German, but I do not. But these books are on a smaller side, which is great, so the pictures are easier to finish. I've done a series of images in here. This is a really old one, July 2020. I remember thinking this image was revolutionary. But yeah, it's just super cute. Again, another 2020 picture. I've done a handful in all these books. This is a more recent one. This one I did using a 12-pack of Prismacolors and nothing else. So I wanted to see, you know, what I could get like done with those with those pencils. And this was my first ever image doing with Prismas. So I also like that she has these pages, which are more like wallpapery, patterny. I know they're not everybody's cup of tea, but I like these images for when I just kind of want to color with my gel pens. I don't really want to focus on anything. These pages are great for that, and all of her books have something like that. Let's see what else I've done in here. This is a long time ago. Oh, I really like this one. I did this one this summer. Let me see if I've done any of the pattern pages in here that I can kind of show you what you can get. Also, did that one a while ago. So something like this, you know, I really enjoyed it. I tried to base the color palette off of this image that I completely butchered, but I did this picture right as I had started coloring, so July 2020, and I wanted to test out markers in here and see how this paper took it. Not very well, but I wanted this side to kind of pull from this side, so I did all gel pen in here, so it's very shiny. So yeah, that is the summer one. The next one I have here is the autumn one, and I honestly don't know how many images I've done in each book. I've seen a lot of really cute completed pages of this one. So I did this one. This is mostly gel pen. It's a little bit of colored pencil. That's an older picture. But again, here's another like wallpapery image. I did this one not too long ago. It's all gel pens, and in the background, I just did a little bit of colored pencil. I was super relaxing. Is that a groundbreaking image? No. Love that one. Love that one. So, lovely book. I mean, I'm going to say this a lot, and I said this a lot in the last video too, but I just wish I had more time to color. I just have too many amazing books and just not enough time to color. Oh, I really like this one, which I feel like is a common problem, right? I also do want to mention that if you like these like seasonal books, she has a book of like a best of, so you get all 4 seasons in one book. So if you don't want to get all 4 of them, maybe the other one's a good option for you. I will leave all of these books linked below, by the way, but she does have the little combo book as well. So then moving on, this is the winter one I should have mentioned. I did this one this July for Christmas in July. I really, really like how this came out. I think it looks really pretty. I've done more pictures than just this in here, I swear. Let's see. Oh, I did a double page spread last year. Really enjoyed. And this was like an advent calendar, right? It's 24. So I saw some folks doing this, like a little image every single day, which I think is a great idea. But I just did them in random order, and I did this one. Let's see. And for me to do a double page spread is like a big deal because double page spreads absolutely terrify me. I've seen so many beautiful works of this completed. It's a little Christmas market. Look at this little dog. Like, yes, please. But I've seen so many beautiful images of this. I'm scared of that picture. Something like this, you could also like make into a little advent calendar, or, you know, maybe you only want a couple, color a couple and then just move on. So I like that aspect as well. I swear I did more. I did this one during the summer. It was supposed to be part of my Christmas in July, but I am super slow at coloring. So I finished it in August, but that's fine. She also has some black backed images. I think this is amazing for New Year's. So I haven't colored in it this winter yet. Trust me. Oh, that's beautiful. It is on the to color list, almost at the to-do list. I've been super busy with work. That's why I'm also not posting as frequently as I used to. But hopefully when things slow down, I'll be able to color more in these books. And then the last of her seasonal books is the spring one. There are a lot of flowers in this one. As you can see, I love coloring flowers, so I'm all for that. If you're not a big flower individual, maybe this is not the book for you. It's a cute Easter page. Again, I swear I've colored in here. Oh, I did this one as a trial. I bought some pastel pencils and I wanted to test them out. So that's all that I used in here was that little pack of pastel pencils. I did a whole video on it. I don't like the pencils. I think they're incredibly scratchy, but I think the picture still looks nice. I love a good pastel. Okay, I've done more, I think. Let's see. Please have more pictures completed, or this is embarrassing. Okay, I did one more. And this was also, ironically, a trial page for pencils. This is a page I did when I got my Brute Funners. So it's a little all over the place with the colors, but that's because I wanted to use and try as many pencils as possible. I probably should have done a background, but that's fine. I still like it. But yes, definitely a lot of florals, and I definitely need to do more images in here. So that's the last seasonal book from her. I also have her newest book, which is My Trip Around Europe, I believe is a translation. This is embarrassing because I pre-ordered this book. I was so over the moon, excited when I saw that she was coming out with it, and I've not colored in it. I've done the most bare minimum that you can imagine. Oh, also these images are amazing. They're just like from different countries and cities, and it's just amazing. All I've done is this, which is so incredibly embarrassing that this is all that I've completed. And this laid on my desk for ages. I mean, these images are just stunning, and people have done so many great colorings in here. I just don't have the time. That's the thing. It's so difficult, but I will get to it. I will. I swear it's beautiful. I love anything travel related. One of these days. So moving on to a newer book to my collection, which is My Secret Bookish Life, a coloring book for book lovers by Epic Page. I randomly found this book online. It is available on Amazon. And I immediately fell in love with it. Like, it has this amazing artwork on one side and then just some quotes on the other side. So technically it is single-sided, so you can use your alcohol markers. I did a whole flip of this book because I loved it. Like, I love it. So I did only one image in here, but I used a combination of alcohol markers. You could see that it bled through. And then I went over it with a combination of my Brute Funners as well as my Prismacolors. I added a little bit of like metallic gel pen. I love this image. I think it looks really, really nicely. I blacked out a bunch of stuff in the back. Like there was more roots and more greenery, and I wasn't interested in coloring it. So I just blacked all of that out. But I really like this image. I really like this book. Also love this quote. Books do not snore. So fabulous coloring book. I honestly haven't seen anybody else talk about it. And I'm really surprised because it is adorable. And it's all book themed. I'm a huge reader, so yeah, it's fantastic. Look how sweet is this page. And it has really nice thick black line work, so your alcohol markers are gonna work very well. I had no issues with alcohol markers bleeding through, like outside the lines when I colored in that book. So would 1000% recommend. And it's like $5 or $6, so good price on that one. Moving on to a Christmas book, and it's my A Million Christmas Cats by John Bigwood. Every time I talk about this book, I just mention how amazing it is because it is. It's fabulous. Unfortunately, I don't believe he's ever come out with a different coloring book. I don't know why, because I would probably purchase anything else that he put together. It's cat themed, shocking. And the images are double-sided. I did this one last year, a little over a year ago, January 1st, 2021. Some are black-backed, some are not. I mean, these images are just so sweet. The paper is on the nicer side, like it's thicker, it's not Amazon printed. So yes, it is double-sided. I did this last month in December, but you can still get away with using water-based items, I believe. I've never tried to use markers in here, but I've never had issues with anything else. I mean, I guess I had an issue here where just the color pencil transferred, but that's not the book's fault. So love it. Will continue to color in it. I would love to finish this book at some point in my life because I genuinely have so much fun every time I color in this book, and I can't really describe to you why. I obviously enjoy coloring, that's why I have all these coloring books, but just something about this one in particular, I just enjoy so much. And I do declutter my coloring book collection quite often. I try to go through it on like a monthly basis. And never a thought has crossed my mind about getting rid of this one because it's staying. I want to finish it. I love the images. Moving on to my Disney Thomas Kincaid coloring book. And this is the Dreams collection. I know he also has like a princesses one, right? I think it's Disney princesses. Oh, it's a little dinged up in the corner. So these books have the original artwork on the left and then you color on the right. So this is the page that I did. I've shown this page many times on my channel because I love it. I think it turned out super duper cute. Is it just like the oil painting? No, but I also colored in pencils and I'm not an artist, so. But yeah, some are more detailed than others. It features a variety of different stories from Disney, well, Disney movies. So they have a little bit of everything in here. So it's fantastic. Will I ever complete this book? No. In full honesty, no. This one page took me so long to do. It's crazy. But I mean, I love it. And I do have a work in progress in here. It looks like this. I started working on this a long time ago and I haven't picked it up since, and I should because I really like the way that water is looking and I'm really enjoying how the sky is turning out. So I will try to finish this eventually and at some point. So that's also a cute one. But this book is definitely intimidating, and I've seen a lot of other individuals on YouTube talk about this book and then say, yeah, but I'm kind of scared of it. So it could be an intimidating one, but the pictures are super duper beautiful. I do have another Thomas Kincaid book. It is their Posh coloring book. And it's the same setup. So you have the painting on one side, and then the version for you to color on the other side. So this one is all just scenery with like beautiful houses, farms, you know, a little bit of everything. I think each one has a house in it. This one has some horses. I haven't colored in this. I haven't done a single image in this, which is really, really unfortunate. But full honesty, I'm terrified. Like, these pictures are so beautiful. I think nature is quite difficult to color. So, and then also it's a realistic nature picture, right? So that I feel like that adds extra pressure, at least in my eyes. So I look through this book quite often because I really enjoy the artwork. I think it's stunning, but I'm always really hesitant to pick it up and color because, like, how am I supposed to mimic that? Like, oh my gosh. So I don't know. I definitely don't want to get rid of this book. I'm 1000% keeping it. But it's a tough one to color. But I will. I just need to dedicate the time to it. Maybe I'll flip through the whole book carefully and try to find an easier image. And maybe that will be a good way to kind of warm myself up to working in here. Because I think if I were to start off with a more complex image, I would just scare myself away. So moving on to Creative Haven book. I don't have that many of their books, but this is Happy Home, a Hygge coloring book by Jessica Mazurkiewicz. And this is another book that I don't plan on passing along anytime soon. I really like this book. I have a lot of fun in here. They're single-sided, so you can use your alcohol markers and have it look just as messy as this. I know it's super streaky, but you know what? I had a blast coloring this, so that's all that matters. So the pictures in here are very like comfy, cozy, relaxing. There's some words on some of the pictures too. I've done a handful in here. So that first one, I did this one. I did a whole video on it. Bedazzled, that little quote. I hope you can see that. But really like it. I tend to do maybe one every couple of months in here. Obviously more during the colder season. Just because it feels weird to me to be coloring like Christmas wreaths and fireplaces in mid-July. So let's see, I recently did a picture. I did this one. I based everything, well, most things in alcohol marker, and then I went over it with pencils, as you can see, and I really enjoyed it. I really like how it turned out. I'm still working on doing the marker base and then shading over it, so I'm glad I was able to practice that here. I've done another picture. I did this one in 2020. It's not my favorite. I think the shading on here is quite questionable, but it is a while ago. So I would highly recommend this book. I have nothing but lovely things to say about it. Yeah, I haven't seen it on many people's coloring channels. Maybe it's because it's an older book, and I feel like, you know, whenever you were trying to get something, you probably want something new, like newer printed. I don't know. But moving on to my one and only Teresa Goodrich book, also by Creative Haven, and it's Autumn Scenes. I purchased it this summer, so while I was in the US. So this bad boy has traveled from the US to Germany. Pictures are amazing. I want everything by Teresa Goodrich now. I've also shown this picture multiple times on my channel because I absolutely adore it. There's something for Halloween. You know, there's usually pumpkins in most images. I also did this one. So for both the previous pumpkin picture and this one, I just used colored pencils. It's mostly Artezas and Prismacolors. So really love this book. Really want to color in it more. I might just have to whip it out. I'll be honest, we'll never do this picture. This is the only picture in this book that I'm like, meh, no thanks. But the other ones I think are absolutely adorable. Would love to color more. The thing is just these images take me quite some time. you know, with the shading and the layering of pencils and everything. So it's something that I definitely have to dedicate a lot of time to. But I love the finished product, so I don't mind dedicating a lot of time to it. Moving on to one of the newer books in my collection, and again, these are in literally no order, but this is 50 Christmas Miniatures by Camelia Angelkova, and she released this in December. I ordered it the second that I saw that she published it. It is the only miniatures book that I own. In full honesty, I don't know if I'll be getting any more of them. It's just, I don't know if it's really my style. I will keep this one and color in it because it's Christmas and I love Christmas. And these pictures are super cute, but I don't know if it's something that I would want multiple books of. Just full honesty, so many people love her books and they create really cute pictures in here, and all the kudos to them. You know, I think that's the wonderful thing about having like opinions is that our opinions don't have to match. So if you love this book, that's great. It's not something that I am fully in love with, but I do love this picture. I did a tutorial on how to layer alcohol markers, which I did, and shade over them with pencils. So I do really like how this turned out. I didn't know if I should do something for the background. I didn't. Maybe in future cases I will, but I like this little hot chocolate hot tub. So yeah, I think most of you have seen this book. It's very popular, and it's a great one for alcohol markers, which I feel like her Christmas or her miniature books are really aimed at alcohol markers because it has the really nice thick line work and everything. So moving on to also a fairly new book in my collection, which is Nice Little Town Christmas Collection by Tatiana Bogima-Stolova. Why is her name not on here? There we go. I was like, I swear it's by her. So it's just a collection of 4 different books, I think. Yes, 4 different books. This book is a thick one. I don't have too many Christmas books, so I was really excited to see this one because I feel like it will have me all set for many, many years to come. And the images are super sweet. I feel like most of them are too detailed for alcohol markers though. Maybe certain parts of it you can base an alcohol marker, but a lot of it is very detailed. So it's wonderful. I've done 1 image in here. I'm gonna save that though, or you can kind of see it here, for my completed pages. Oh, how sweet is that? I'm gonna save it for my completed pages, but I'll say that I don't love the way it turned out, but I will still continue to color in here. There are so many pages. so many pages in here that I think if I only colored in this book, it would still take me multiple years to finish it. So I'm all set for Christmas images for a very long time. That being said, here comes another Christmas book. So this was 1000% an impulse buy. I was at like an arts and crafts store with my friend. We decided to knit this winter. So we were there buying knitting supplies, and of course I had to check out the coloring books because it's me. And I found this one, I think it says My Super Big Coloring Book Winter or something, winter season, I don't know. So it's shaped like a Christmas tree. Love it. Is it meant for children? Absolutely. But, oh, I flipped through my favorite page. This is my favorite page. But it has these adorable little characters. The paper is double-sided, so I don't know if alcohol markers, well, I know the alcohol markers will bleed through like crazy, but I guess if, oh, that's also a sweet one. Maybe if you are okay sacrificing the other side. It's like 1 page? I guess it is. If you're okay sacrificing the other side, you can color in alcohol markers. But like there's just so many really cute images in here, and I thought this would be a perfect book to color my to practice my alcohol base plus markers on top. Have I colored in here? No. Oh, that's a cute double spread. Do I want to? Yes. Like I'm flipping right now. I'm like, oh, that's sweet. That's sweet. So there's definitely a lot of cute images in here, and I don't want to get rid of this book. I will hold on to it, and maybe we'll practice some images in here If not, it's just a super easy, you know, lay some color down on a page kind of book. So I'm all for that. And then moving on to one of the 2 Coloring Heaven magazines that I own. And I have to say, have y'all seen the new release? It looks beautiful. I have it in my basket on Etsy, but I can't bite the bullet because shipping is like $9. And to me, I'm like, $9? Like I can get like 2 coloring books, or at least 1 for that money. So I'm still pondering the big decision of whether or not I should get it. But their newest magazine is super beautiful. But anyways, this is the Cutesy Christmas special. It's issue 68. Also another one that I've shown on my channel multiple times at this point. I just really like it. Speaking of me not really having that many Christmas things, I definitely do. But I've only done 1 picture in here, and it looks like this. I did a Santee, basted a marker, shaded it with colored pencil. It is by Mariola Budek, so it is one of the grayscaled images, but I still added shading on top, and this stupid alcohol marker did the yellowing. I threw that marker out. But fabulous magazine. And I also, in that transaction, when I bought this, also I did get this off of their Etsy page. I purchased the Fairy Story Special by Fabiana Attanasio. It is issue 73. And it has a kind of a collection from her fairy tale books. I personally love collection books because I feel like I get to experience a variety of styles. Maybe not necessarily styles because it's the same artist, but still really like it. Some of these pages are much simpler than others. For example, this one. I also love how it's like framed out. Would love to do this page. Some are horizontal, some are vertical, as you can see. I've done just the first one, which is Belle and the Beast. Everything you see is done with colored pencils. There's no marker here, as you can tell. There's also metallic gel pen, for example, in her dress. And then on his the collar here, I really like this image. It took me some time to color, but mainly because I'm incredibly slow. But this is definitely one of the more simple images. But Belle is my favorite Disney princess, so I was really excited to do that page. Moving on to a whole book dedicated to Disney princesses. Disney Princesses Stained Glass Coloring Book. And I had purchased this to do a flip and review on my channel. It's from Amazon. It was quite inexpensive. And it's kind of a similar setup to like the Disney Vitro book that, you know, I feel like most people know and love. So it just has some sort of design and then a princess in the middle. I'll be fully honest, I haven't colored in this yet, but I definitely want to. And I love that these images are single-sided because, again, alcohol markers. It has a variety of Disney princesses in here, so it's not like it's a full book of only one. There's some images with multiple princesses, so really like it. Some of the line work's a little blurry, but that's fine. I did do a full flip of this book. If you're interested, on my channel, I keep on saying I'm going to color in this book and I just haven't had the chance, but I really want to. How many times have I said that? Absolutely a billion. But moving on to my Harry Potter Celebratory Edition, the Best of Harry Potter Coloring. Again, can you tell that I love a good collection book? This was a Christmas gift from a friend. It's amazing. It is double-sided, but who cares? That is a horrifying image. So really beautiful images in here. I mean, if you're a Harry Potter fan, this is basically a must-have. So it has some characters like humans, but also a lot of the creatures. There are some posters and more like wallpapery images, like something like this. I've done, oh yeah, the night bus. I've done one in here. Whether I can locate it or not is a separate topic. There it is. I did this image of Hermione. that I really enjoy. I think her skin tone is a little weird, but I did my best. So that's the only image I've done in here, and that was fully done with pencils. I believe they were Artezas. So yeah, I definitely want to, guess what, color more. But one of these days, and they do have a bunch of various Harry Potter coloring books from this line. This is just the only one I owned, and it happens to be the collection one. Moving on to the cutest little book that I bought at my grocery store. It was like in the checkout aisle as you're paying for your food, right next to the candy bars and the gum. So it is the Disney Winnie the Pooh coloring book. It is absolutely precious, also probably aimed at children, but who cares? So it is a flip, what is this called? Notepad style. It has quite thick black lines, which is fabulous, and it has some quotes on the bottom that I can't read. So I've done a handful of images in here. Let's see if I can locate one. I mean, they're super sweet. Different scenes. Come on. Now I look like a liar. I swear I colored in here. Okay. This was one I did recently in November. And this is 100% just colored pencil. I did do one, I think, where I layered it with... Oh, come on. I did do one where I did... Oh, here. I did alcohol markers first, and then pencils on top. I don't love the result, but I tried. Okay, there is another one. There we go. So I also did this one, also fully colored pencils, and these were so quick to do. It was great. Love this book. Love Pooh and love Pooh and the Gang. Look at him. Oh my gosh, you can't go wrong with a Winnie the Pooh book, in my humble Winnie the Pooh loving opinion. So moving on to my Johanna Basford collection. I have 3 of her books, I believe. The first one here is the floral one. I don't know I can't remember the English name, but it's a lot of florals, and I adore this book. I think it's a fun one to use your gel pens in because you can just go crazy and make everything super shiny. I did this one last holiday season, so not this year, but the year before. The blending on this, yikes. But for the time and the pencils that I had, I was super proud of it. I drew in the tree, I drew in the bow. I was trying to make this page look more festive. Yeah, I mean, looking back now, I think it's kind of a train wreck, but at the time I thought it was amazing, and yeah, I got creative with it. I think this was the first time I ever drew in additional items in a picture, so A for experimentation on that one. Oh, okay, guess a little preview. I did this month. I was just bored and needed something easy, so I just used a bunch of gel pens and did that page. But I've also done another image in here, which was this one. This was for a prompt, was something that scares you, so I did a skull. But yeah, I really like this one. I definitely like this one more than the one with the Christmas tree that I showed you, but unfortunately some of the colors transferred from the color pencil, so I'll have to somehow fix this one up. But book is amazing. Definitely want to continue working in it, and technically I did, because I did color that this book belongs to page, and I'm going to count that as a contribution. Moving on to my first ever Johanna Basford book, and this was potentially my first adult coloring book. No, I think my first one was one that I have on hold since then, but this was my first official non-sketchy Amazon coloring book. So I've done a couple in here, and if you're not familiar, this book is super detailed. I think it's one of, if not her most detailed. How in the world are you gonna color that? Maybe gel pens. I don't see anything else working on this, but it's super detailed. It's also one of her older books. She got less detailed with time, but I did this image as a buddy color. I think it was one of my first ever buddy colors. This was done with Thunder Junkie. I remember she used a lot of glitter. I remember that. But I still like how this turned out. I think it's sweet. I also loved it when I did it. Then I did this page that I just used bunch of gel pens on. So it's very glittery, it's very shiny, it's all gel pen. This was therapeutic to do. I didn't try to stick to any color palette. As you can see, it's a little bit of everything, and I really like it. Let's see what else I have. Oh, I have a whip in here. So I'm working on this fish page, and I'm just doing a fish here and there whenever the mood strikes me to do so. I haven't done a fish in here in a while, but it's just something I'll continue to work on, hopefully finish one day. And then I have another page. Oh yeah, this was the first page I ever did in here. I genuinely thought this was like Picasso. Like, I thought this was just stunning. I remember being so proud of my color palette. I mean, I still think it's adorable, but yeah, I just remember being super proud of this, super proud of this fish. So I think that's it regarding completed pages in here. But yeah, please don't let this book scare you away from Johanna Basford. She definitely got less detailed as time went on. But if you're looking for a more detailed book, this one is great. Great for gel pens and fine liners, but the images are double-sided, so definitely no alcohol markers. And this is my last Johanna Basford book. It's her Worlds of Wonder, which was released in 2021. I think everybody has seen this book, and this is what I mean. She got much less detailed. She got much less intimidating. So the images are still double-sided. In this book, there are some more detailed, and there's definitely some more that are more simple, like this one. Let's see what else. But yeah, I think absolutely everybody has seen this book at this point. It's super popular. People do amazing work. I did this October of 2021. Why did I write 2022 on here? Whoops. But I love this page. I think it turned out super duper cute. It took me absolutely forever because I had to add shading to everything. I mean, I added shading to those little mail envelopes. So yeah, but really great book. I think, no, I've definitely done another image in here. There she is. I also did this. So yeah, I'm slowly coloring in this book. I really enjoy it. I like the fact that this one is less detailed because I can reach for this one when I want maybe to use my colored pencils, and then reach for Lost Ocean when I'm feeling more like doing detailed work with some gel pens. I have another Winnie the Pooh book. Can you tell that I like Winnie the Pooh? No? No, okay. So this is a Hatchet Heroes book dedicated to Winnie and the gang. I am obsessed with this book. It is definitely on the smaller side. It has a collection of more wall printy pages, more detailed pages, and it's all Winnie themed. So I've done a handful. I did this one. I had the sticker from I can't remember where, so I just added that in there. This is all gel pen. But let's see what else I've done. Where did it go? So I did this one with a lot of gel pens. It's definitely a good gel pen book because so many details are quite small. Why can't I flip properly? Then I did this one. So the characters themselves are color pencils, and then everything else is metallic markers. Let's see. So there's definitely characters you can color, and it's just adorable. And since it's a smaller book, it doesn't take very long to do. You get some bookmarks in the back that you can, I want to say laminate. I could have sworn I did more images in here. Maybe not. Okay, that happens to me all the time. Like, I did more, but I really didn't. But yeah, super sweet book. I was able to get it on Amazon here, and it was quite inexpensive. I think it might be a little bit harder to get in the US, but it was $5.95. There's 100 images in here. So if you can get your hands on this, I would highly recommend. It's super sweet, and you cannot go wrong with Winnie and the Gang, in my humble opinion. Moving on to a very different book from the Winnie the Pooh book. It's the Color Morphia by Kirby Rosanis. I made a whole video about how certain books, including anything by Kirby, absolutely terrifies me. And then I was in the US this summer, and I was at BAM, like Books A Million, and they had this there. And I started flipping through it, and I was like, you know what? I should give it a shot. And it's another collection book. Do you see a pattern here? So I figured I would give it a shot because I was able to color from a variety of his books. So of course it's double-sided. It is super intricate. It is incredibly beautiful. Has a lot of double-page spreads, which would terrify me in a normal book, but especially in a Kirby. But I did do one image in here somewhere. It looks like this. I'm like hitting things on my table. So I really like the finished product. I worked with mostly Prismas on this one. I have a 12 pack, so it's not like I have a lot of them, but I tried to integrate them as much as possible. And then also Artesas. I worked on it this summer while I was in the US. And I really love the way it turned out. It was definitely one of the more simple images in this book. And I didn't love the hidden object, like this random pumpkin here. So I tried to just color it the same color as the flowers and hoping nobody would notice. There's a pumpkin in here. I think that's the only like random object on this page, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, not my favorite part of the random objects, but I know that's from the... what are those books? The Morphia books, right? No, I can't remember. But yeah, I would highly recommend this book. I definitely want to color in it again. It's just, I need to be in the right headspace to color in these books, in this book. I know a lot of folks that color his stuff will do like an, gosh, what is it called? Watercolor base, like with watercolor paint. I don't own any, so if I was to go in and color in here, it would be fully with colored pencils, so that takes a lot of time. So I definitely need to be in the right headspace for this book, but I love it. I'm super glad I got it. I do not regret that decision. I recently almost got his newest like collection book because he put out another one, but I stopped myself because I was like, girl, you have the other one. You've done literally one image. You do not need another one. But this is another book that I think if I colored solely in this book, it would still take me over a year to complete everything based on how long it takes me to finish one of those pictures because they're so detailed. Moving on to a book that I have literally every month. I'm like, gosh, I need to pick up that book. Like, it's on the top of my mind, but I haven't colored it in a while. It's the Brothers Grimm Fairy Tales book by, illustrated by Forrest Diver, I believe it is. Yeah, it's a Julia Rivers book. And the images are single-sided, and they have images from various fairy tales. I think there's a little, there's a little guide in the back as to which fairy tale the images are from, which I think is helpful because I definitely don't know all of the stories. So I really like this book. I want to go back to it. I love anything fairy stories or like fairy tales. I did this one a long time ago. This was, I think, my first ever buddy color, and it was with Danny Buttons. So yeah, there's definitely a bunch of really beautiful images. That one's kind of terrifying. But I also did another one in here. I did this one. And then, of course, I bedazzle the shoe. That's a lot of stickles there. for Cinderella and the castle. I based a castle on the castle in Disney. I think is it Epcot that has the Cinderella castle. So yeah, I definitely want to go back to this book. I love basically every image in here. I don't know why I haven't gone back to it, but I want to, and I want to see if I can use alcohol markers on certain parts of it. But yes, if you have this book, maybe do you want a buddy color? Because I feel like I just need a swift kick in the rear to pick up this book again, because oh gosh, I love it. I love the images. Anything like fairy tale, I'm all for. So I don't know why I'm just not working in it. Moving on to a book that I work in all the time, that's actually full of blotter sheets and everything imaginable right now. Basically, it's there to see if markers yellow, because I've been having a really big issue with markers yellowing recently. So I want to make sure that I'm not damaging any of my pages. But this book is The 70 Amazing Patterns by Aaliyah Fisher, Volume 1. Don't own any other volumes. Still more blotter sheets. But yeah, it just has patterns, shockingly. So this one is from this month. I'm trying to go through some of my older alcohol markers and use them up. But do you see that? Goodness gracious, like that is horrific yellowing. Oh, yeah. So yeah, I'm working on it. This book is not my favorite because I feel like these areas are just kind of big, so it can be difficult to not get streaking. I mean, this was water-based marker, so streaking is to be expected. But I've done a good amount of pictures in here, and I will definitely continue to work in it, but I just need to figure out which markers are yellowing, get rid of them, because I bought a whole pack of markers, like alcohol markers off Amazon, and some of them are yellowing and some of them are not, and I'm so tempted to just toss the whole case of them because I'm getting so frustrated of them, you know, damaging pictures. But I don't want to throw out the whole set because not all of them are bad. So what I really need to do is sit down and like test all of them, squish them between coloring books and see which one's yellow and just get rid of those. But you know, that's a project. So but yeah, I definitely need to get to it because they're frustrating me like crazy. Before those I had Ohuhu markers that I literally never had any issue with. So I wasn't expecting this set, which is not Ohuhu's, there's some other brand, to be so yellowy. But moving on to my mandala books, which I only have 2 of. I've been doing good. It's my 101 mandalas, unique mandalas, by Camelia Angelkova. It's a thick book. There's a lot. So I've mentioned this in multiple videos. Not all of these pages are my cup of tea. I will definitely not be completing the whole book because a lot of them just genuinely do not interest me. For example, I don't love these like whatever, I don't know what to call these. I have 0 interest in coloring this one, for example, just none. So this one's from last year. So I'm slowly going through the book and coloring. Again, there was yellowing. See that? So frustrating, but I'm working on it. I'm slowly going through this book. There's definitely a wide range of images in here. In the back, you also have this like piles of stuff kind of images that I also honestly have no interest in coloring. But then there's also some really simple ones. But this book is getting kind of beat up because I do take it out quite often. Also not interested in the quotes. But I will color all the images that I do, you know, find interesting. And then maybe pass it on or just recycle it at that point. We'll see. I mean, look at this yellowing. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's, yeah. Like, look at that. But yeah, I did this orange page, and then after I did that, I was like, I don't know if these are actually oranges. So, slowly going through here, I really like Camelia Angelkova's mandalas. And because I liked them so much, I ended up purchasing her 50 Stylish Mandalas when it came out. I think this is her newest mandala book. I think. Yeah, I think it is. But it's 50 stylish mandalas. I really like this one. Let's see, also blotter sheets in here. But, oh, see, oh, goodness gracious. So I just did this month. I'm going to put a blotter sheet back in because I'm really not interested in having yellowing. But with this one, I'm just going in order. And love it. Absolutely love it. This is a book I see myself repurchasing because it's a mandala book. So I could do the images all over again and not feel like I am, you know, missing out on the experience in any way. So yeah, just going in order. I think I am up to, let's see. Yep, I'm up to page 15. So I've done 15 and this page belongs to page in here. There's a combination of alcohol markers and glitter / metallic gel pens. I did this one last month for Christmas. I think if you're gonna get one of her mandala books, I would recommend this one. I think it's absolutely amazing, and I'm tempted to buy a replacement now, but I'm gonna wait until I do more in it. The goal is to finish it this year. And then a book that's definitely not gonna fit into the frame, and it's my Hatchet Heroes Vitro. Let's do it sideways. And I think everybody knows this book or has heard of it. It's a big, big boy. So I'm gonna pause and zoom out so you can see the whole book, and I'll be right back. So I've zoomed out basically as far as I can, and it's still not fully in frame, but it's a really, really big book. It's hardcover. There is a Disney Vitro 2. I do not own it because I haven't done enough in here to justify getting the second one, but I really would like to own it one day because I do really love this book. So the images are this like tile style. Ooh, that rhymed. So I am working on an image in here right now. It looks like this. I hope you can see it. I don't know what movie. I think it's called Planes, right? Airplanes? I don't know. I've never actually seen this movie, but it is a buddy color, and we are working on this page together. I had to Google this character because I don't actually know what colors to color the character. But I've done 2 images in here. I think there are 100 images in here, so there's definitely plenty to go. Of course, I have the Winnie the Pooh page marked. I would also love to do the Frozen image. Where are my completed pages? There's also some postcards in the back if you wanted to color. Okay, so I did the Winnie the Pooh page this summer, and this was also a buddy color. I don't love the green background, but it's fine. You win some, you lose some. And then before then, I did this image, which is Belle and the Beast. And again, as I mentioned, she is my favorite princess, so that's why I did this page. And this did take me quite a long time just because there's a lot of detail with all these various characters and of course the background, and I had to blend and everything. So, but I adore this image. I think it turned out really well. Yeah, big fan, and I would love to do more in here. This book is amazing, and it can seem a little overwhelming, but some of these are much easier than others. For example, something like this would take quite a long time because there's a lot of small details, but then something like this has giant pieces, so this would actually be much easier to do than this one, even though it's a bigger image. I know some folks use water-based markers in here, and it appears to be fine. I haven't tried that. I stick to colored pencils, but if you've been kind of intimidated of this book, just know that you can use water-based markers in here. I mean, you could always, I guess, use alcohol and just, well, not alcohol, alcohol markers, and just kind of, you know, sacrifice the page on the other side. But yeah, that is actually my entire collection of my non-color by number books. I know it's a lot. And I'm really trying to tone down the shopping. I mean, my wish list on Amazon is extensive, but I'm keeping it as is. I'm not purchasing anything. The only book I have coming my way now is the new Hannah Carlson book. I pre-ordered it from a Swedish book website, and it's actually an autographed copy. So I'm really excited for that. According to the website, I think it's shipped. I don't know, it's in Swedish. I was Google translating it. According to my Googling skills, it says that it was sent. So I'm still waiting for that one. But aside from that, that is it for my collection. Thank you so much for watching. Again, everything is linked down below. And I will see everybody in the next one. Bye.